And welcome back to week 3, day 2 of the HCS Pro League. Thank you for staying tuned. We had some great matches already happen, and we have some great matches hopefully in store for you coming up as well. Match number 3, Optic Gaming going up against Allegiance. And this is kind of one of those do-or-die situations, I feel like, for who's trying to get into either those 5th and 6th spot or top 4 spots, the 5th, 6th spots, and who's going to fall to relegation.
Yeah, absolutely do-or-die here. We have Optic Gaming as the red team, Allegiance as the blue team.
All right, taking a look at the Optic Gaming roster. No surprise here. We have Straight Sick, Maniac, Ace, and APG. Of course, APG being the most recent member to join here. And, you know, we've seen this has been really hit or miss. Like, we saw so much great things out of them in the CLG series and when they went up against Liquid. And then we've seen them just kind of fall short and get dominated against like teams like Renegades.
Very inconsistent.
All right, of course, they are going to be taking on today a team that has a lot of similar kind of story behind them, and that's Allegiance here. Allegiance, of course, is going to be comprised of Goofy, Ryanu, Contra, and Predevinator.
Now the core of that team, Contra and Predevinator, coming over from that Denial roster. They saw such great success in the Halo World Championship Tours, and then at the Halo World Championship, Goofy has been competing since 2009 in Halo 3, as well as Ryanu winning the opening event for Halo 4.
And I know you said Maniac was the player to watch or X Factor for you here in this series. I said APG. Want to take just a little bit further in-depth look at APG and his player profile. Of course, has won at least one event with 4 different teams. So someone that's bounced around rosters, quite a few times. Interesting fact: he's never been on the same roster or for 3 consecutive events.
I did not know that.
You know what? I actually did not know that as well. So I'm reading it off there and pretty surprised myself.
Very surprised.
And he's been around for quite some time. Career back in 2006 with Halo 2.
The young gun.
He was really young back then.
Extremely young. But you can't say enough about APG and his playstyle. He is so aggressive. Everyone knows that. You can just see it from watching his point of view. Just so aggressive and opening up opportunities for his other team. If he is playing the best that he can against this Allegiance roster, it's going to be really interesting to see how Optic can perform.
I agree. This is... Like, I've been so surprised and almost disappointed at the same time because we saw them come out and for at least a couple minutes just dominate CLG for the most part, where of course someone's hitting snipes and not missing. There's not much you can do in that scenario, but regardless, just great play out of them. Now, whether or not they decided to participate in the veto system here today, we do have these 5 game types of what we're looking at.
We do.
Fathom, Capture the Flag, Plaza Slayer, followed by a Plaza Strongholds, Coliseum Capture the Flag, and then Game 5, should we need it, Coliseum Slayer. So this is a really interesting series, one we really haven't seen play out like this. We've got 2 Plazas, 2 Coliseums.
That is very, very interesting. It is also important to point out Allegiance, their strongest game type in the series is going to be Fathom Capture the Flag with a 2-1 record, 2-1 record on it in Pro League play.
You're right. They did drop that for their very first time to Evil Geniuses.
Very first time last night. Yep. On the other hand, we have Optic. They are winless on all 5 of these game types in Pro League play.
Wow. Appreciate those stats, Towie. Good job doing your homework there as well.
A little homework, yeah.
And yeah, looks like they only really won. Most of their games they won came from their series win over Team Liquid as well. And of course, that was the previous Team Liquid roster, so it'll be interesting to see when these teams match up again. Who are you looking to get this started off with?
You got to go with APG. We just talked about him. If he can keep up that aggressive play style he's known for, this is going to be a really interesting game to see.
All right, so we'll hop on board with APG. He is running out of his pace towards Garage. No action yet, but look, Allegiance played just as aggressive as Optic Gaming's looking to, and Rynoob winning that 1v1 to start.
Yeah, kind of catching APG off the start there. There's going to be 2 dead for both teams now as Straight Sick is cleaned up. What a great splinter nade there, though, from Maniac, taking out Predevinator. Straight Sick spawning up, trying to push out. They know they have that advantage as Ace has that railgun. It's important to try to collapse as a team here. Well, they have this advantage in numbers. Only 2 players alive now. 3 down, 1 player alive. For Allegiance, trying to stay alive, hiding on that flag. They know they're spawning up at Silo. They really need to get this flag out.
And that's Railgun in the hands of Ace, and the flag actually being pulled as well. So great play by Optic Gaming overall. Picking up a quick trade here. That's going to be 1 dead for each team.
Yeah, and as we say that, we have APG just dying, running that flag in through the front of the base. Contra, on the other hand, right to the right of Maniac here, getting that flagpole out and getting it over towards the Allegiance base.
Maniac somehow staying alive down here. Flag is still out, unable to pick up a kill, but great nades, nading their own porch, and several members all over the place going down. That's 2 for each team.
You can't say enough about Contra there, though. He got behind the other team, got that flag out, and ended up running it back to their base, and then perfected Maniac, who was bottom center, looking towards his own base. Gets the kill on that railgun guy and the flag all the way back.
And we've seen so many great starts from so many different players here. Ace working together. Listen to call-outs here from APG. APG's picked up several kills to start this game. He's already at 6 and holding the flag.
Yep, and that, I'm not sure how did they get that return. That looks like they overextended far too far for the Allegiance squad.
That was interesting. I did unfortunately miss that as well, but fantastic play by Optic Gaming as a whole, and that was done by, you know, just 2 members. So obviously Allegiance kind of dropping the ball a little bit on that one.
You have to wonder where the communication was there. If through a flag standoff, one player maybe sneaks out and is able to get that return.
I think Allegiance and I both dropped the ball on that one. I'm trying to take a look at who got that return, but regardless, 1-0 lead now, and StraightSick with the railgun.
Yep, and that was StraightSick with the return there. Now with the new railgun that just spawned, taken out, unfortunately, in front of the base. But as we say that, it looks like that flag is still going to be relayed.
And several members down now. Good 3v3 situation. We'll stay on board with StraightSick as that flag was just pushed throughout the base.
I love this play from APG, though. He waited, stayed alive, tried to keep his shields, and then he knew he would die throwing that flag, but he got it into the window, and Optic secures the cap. A fast 2-0 start for them.
And that kid must have been working out, because he threw that flag so high and got it in window. If that did not go into the window, I assure you they would not have capped it.
Yeah, but as we say that now, it's important to note that they should try to play this slower. They maybe overextended for that flag. Aaron here getting the return, that's Ace. It looks like that camo that was up, taken down. Predevinator had that camo. This flag run possibly a little too late.
And wow, great trade. If he got around that corner, I don't know if anyone was going to be in position to stop him. Maniac, we saw him hit this splinter nade earlier. I might have hit it. I don't think I saw any green nades there, so he's taken out before any kind of team nades were going on. But regardless, Optic Gaming just taking out now 2 members.
Teamwork there from both of them. I like this play from Maniac, playing it slow. He knows his teammate died. He's expecting them to spawn up, and he's rushing to help his teammate while he has the attention of both of these spawners.
And he's in that up-close battle, so he wants to make sure he has that AR out. Just generally a lot easier to win in those up-close battles, but taken out himself as well.
Still, at the same time, that's StraightSick. He's staying alive over there. I was about to say, I don't mind the play. You're still dying at the other team's base. You're being aggressive. This is still just a good job from Optic to set the pace of the game.
Predevinator, good shots there. Now the flag is out for Optic. APG able to get the return and
shooting a few bodies.
I don't see anybody around here. That looked like some body shooting going on from APG, so he's looking to come out strong today.
Yep, and just now that new railgun did come up. We saw Ace able to go down bottom middle, gets the kill with the light rifle, and is now pushing in with that railgun.
Trying to stay alive. He is taken to nose shields. Wants to make sure he can get this back to essentially one of the more effective locations.
Almost connects with that shot. I like the rotation, though. He knows he can't overextend with that railgun. He needed to retreat back for help. Unfortunately taken down, but still a good play.
And that's going to put the railgun now in the hands of Predevinator. So he's taking this up to top center once again. Might have thought he grabbed the kill there, but now he's turning to try to help out top center. And what is that? 3 members now dropping for Allegiance?
Such low coordination on how they wanted to take that. They had power weapons. They had up top control. Optic was on spawn, and they go 3 down.
I was trying to pay attention to what just happened there, but it happened so quickly. I don't know. So many members dying. Allegiance
right here, Contra was the last player alive, and he got that flagpole to buy his teammates time off their spawns. That's so important to point out. Contra pulling that flag allows his teammates off spawn to push up across top center over towards the other team's base and continue to apply pressure, even though they were 3 down.
Oh, and new camo is up as well. StraightSick. Wow, this camo has been up for a while.
At least an hour.
And several members of StraightSick able to grab that. I like that one, Towie. And look, pushing up. Is he going to be able to stay alive here?
Has to stay alive with that camo. We talk about it so consistently. Very important to use that for the entire duration of the camo.
And just like that, Flag for Allegiance is now out of the base, and they're collapsing, killing several members, and camo also in the hands of StraightSick.
Run. That's 2 dead. They took 5 seconds. These nades might end up killing them. This flag run is now too slow. That's 2 dead for Optic. This flag is going nowhere. They need to give this up and not overextend for the flag and then allow a counter cap. They need to play a bit more defensively right now.
But look, they do pick up a kill, and with this new railgun spawning, Ace with Storm Rifle bottom center, this is one of the better weapons to have in these up-close battles. Picks up a kill on Goofy and starts, wow, great job staying alive.
Amazing movement from Ace, knowing what angles his teammates are watching and what he can get away with here. Ends up getting the railgun kill on Ryanu. This is going to end up being a cap for Optic if they can push in for this flagpole.
And this is all starting with Ace's incredible play.
This player gets the flag spawn, though, on Generator. Ace still staying alive as best as he can while that flag is being run. If they can get this back, Maniac now trying to get over, throwing it to his bottom center side. They really need to all come back to secure this flight cap. As Allegiance, those spawners, they've already pushed over.
They have to, yeah, and just like that, Ace leading the way for that final flag cap. That was just amazing play. And I called it before the series. I said APG did not play to APG's potential yesterday, and he is obviously coming out strong today. 2 flag captures, 2 returns, and most impressively, 18 kills.
Unbelievable. That was a very, very fast-paced game. But even more so, Optic, they set the pace of the whole game. They made Allegiance play at their speed.
All right, we go ahead and take a look at some of the replays here from this match. I also want to point out to Towie, the first time Allegiance lost this map was last night, and then they just got dominated on this game type here. Much more convincing than what Evil Geniuses was able to do yesterday against them.
Very much so.
Look at that throw.
You can't say enough about this play here. I believe that was APG.
Ace.
It was Ace with the flagpole. He threw that flag after waiting 5 or 10 seconds, getting his shields, knowing where the other team was pushing from, so he could make sure to get the flag throw before dying.
And that was the highest flag throw that you could have possibly hoped for to get that in the window.
You can tell that man works out his arms.
It was quite impressive play. Optic Gaming coming out strong here on Friday. 3-0 victory on Fathom CTF.
If you're a Green Wall fan out there, you just got to hope that this is a bit of a precursor to the series. You know, a swift 3-0 in Game 1. You just really need to carry that momentum straight into Game 2.
That was a relatively quick game, and I guess essentially what we're seeing from Optic is what Allegiance was able to do so well in the first 2 weeks.
Yep.
All right, now Plaza Slayer followed by a Plaza Strongholds. How do you see this one going?
Well, we just watched a pretty dominant win there in the previous Plaza Team Slayer for Game 5 of the last series. You know, if they can keep up that aggression that APG usually leads the way with, we saw him off the start of that last game, immediately push out, kind of got caught with that, but they kept that play style up as a team throughout the whole game. If they can keep doing that for game number 2, I would expect it to go the same way.
You know, I actually agree. This Plaza Slayer, we haven't seen great things as far as Slayer game types go from Allegiance. They were consistently the best at just capture the flag games. They fell short in the Strongholds, fell short in the Slayers, and that's why they weren't able to pick up a whole lot of series wins. But with that being said, Plaza Slayer and how well Optic is playing at this current moment, this is looking great for the Green Wall.
Yeah, no, you really can't say enough about how Optic is really coming out here in game number 1, especially with how inconsistent they've been in Pro League play. You know, they showed a lot of what they can do against CLG. Some of those games extremely close, especially on that new map, Stasis. I believe they had the lead at one point, and that was game number 4 of that CLG series in week number 1. They took a game off of CLG, still the only game that CLG has dropped at all in Pro League, but then kind of falling short in their last few matches.
I mean, ironically enough, the 7th place team has put up the best fight against the 1st place team, and the only one to take a game. So
it tells you enough about what this team is really capable of, especially when they consistently practice.
Any given Friday.
Any given Friday.
And, you know, what if that's the case? You know, you've seen teams in some of the older, when a tournament go throughout the weekend, some teams were phenomenal on Saturday and would always fall short on Championship Sunday, and other times on those Sundays, or the reverse opposite as well, you know, so there could be a similar kind of situation. Who knows?
Yeah, it's all about hitting your stride. You know, all these players and all these teams, they know how to play Halo. It's not about whether or not they're confused on how to play certain game types. It's obviously about executing, but if they can stay consistent across, you know, multiple days in a row and then hitting that stride when it matters in your Pro League match at a tournament, that's where you really deliver.
Yeah, that's all it takes. Doesn't matter what or how scrims go online. It matters how the Pro League matches go on Thursday and Friday. And that's all that matters at this point, because only the top 4 teams are going to go to the finals, and everybody is fighting for those spots, except for probably CLG, who's already there.
Yep. And of course, we have Optic fighting to stay out of that relegation spot down in 7th, 8th. You know, if you are in 7th, 8th, you will be off to relegation after Season 1. If you're in 5th, 6th, you're through till Season 2.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, if Optic comes out strong here today, you know, and we talked about it previously, there's a transfer period going on after this week. So, if anything, every one of these 4 members needs to prove themselves and prove that they deserve to be on Optic going forward, you know, if there's any hope of making it towards finals.
Yeah, you said it extremely, extremely well. They all need to prove themselves, and especially as a team, prove that they are taking this as seriously as they can.
All right, now we do have the players ready, and they are battling on Slayer Plaza's first to 50 kills win. Towie, we saw great things from both Ace and APG. We started with APG last time. Let's go ahead and kick it off with Ace.
I'm okay with this. The older brother wanting to spectate the little brother a little bit. As we see Aaron, great team shooting out of Optic to start this game. You knew that they were going to focus on that left window, immediately melting that player. That overshield immediately burned. They knew they weren't going to go for that. They were just going to give it up and try to focus on that kill. Another one going down with the sniper there, Goofy. A quick 3-0 lead for Optic.
2 kills, picks up assists, dodges nades, and stays alive. Now Sniper in the hands of Ace as well. Big early lead here for Optic Gaming, or big quick start for Optic Gaming. I'd like to see him pull this Sniper out and go for some of these, and boom, hits it just like that. 1 dead. Devonator knows he's down there and probably has the death cam still, so backing up safely, looking to take new angles.
Yep, I like the pace at which they're playing right now. They're not giving up any deaths. They're not putting themselves into any unnecessary positions. That's going to be 2 players down for Allegiance, 4 on 2 for Optic. It's important to make the right rotations or collapse here. What spawns are you blocking?
And look,
it looks like a player spawned below them because they weren't knowing if they were going to push or if they were going to stay there. Ace does not connect with the no-scope. That has to be a fault on Optic Gaming to block those spawns.
He pushed up just a hair too far. Nobody was watching that. They need to focus on that if they have any chance of bringing that back. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at APG as he's actually down there as well.
Yeah, APG, the last player alive for Optic from when they had map control, getting put to 1 shot, should be getting collapsed on here by Allegiance, but buying his teammates time, so important. 2 players fall for Allegiance. It looks like 3 on 2 for Optic as they push across. We have to find who has sniper. I believe somebody just connected with a pretty sick shot.
Is that? All right, we can try to take a look to see who has that at this point. Lots of death and action going on.
It ends up in the hands of Optic as APG does have that sniper.
There he is. We found him. Got that sniper. Still plenty of ammo left and a 6-kill lead here now for Optic Gaming.
Yeah, I like this angle here. Opting to jump up, try to stabilize to get a different angle on that guy. APG miraculously staying alive, ends up getting finished through that window. I don't like the challenge that he made. He put himself to 1 shot in hotel. He really just needed to relocate there.
He could have played that a bunch of different ways, and he chose one of the weaker ways to, in fact, play it.
Yeah,
however,
but as that happens, Maniac here picks up that sniper and is watching this new overshield, picks off 2 players in a row, one of them burning that overshield, gets taken down, but just a great job overall from Optic to be aware of that power-up when they don't have map control.
Right, and that looks like it's gonna, the sniper potentially out of ammo in that situation then, so Maniac putting that to great use.
Yep, this new sniper here spawning in 20 seconds as we see players, not much map control for either team, but focus on pushing towards that area of the map.
So it is Allegiance that has the nest control and will be in best position to grab the new sniper, and they've cut this lead down to 1.
With all of that, though, it's still 17-18. No advantage there on the scoreboard as Straight Stick falls. That's going to be 2 down for Optic. You would expect them to fully collapse. 3 dead now, and the last player alive. This looks like quite the failed push from Optic.
So they picked up 1 kill, although all 4 members of Optic Gaming did fall there. Now, one person
a great kill on Goofy, though, with map control and teammates trying to help him, still able to, you know, get taken down.
And Ryan now picking up a kill. The sniper is still down. Just gonna take a look at this real fast, see who is in position to grab it. Nobody. Looks like Contra's got the best spawn to grab the sniper that he just lost, and he's gonna pick that back up again.
Yeah, I was trying to follow that for a while and just couldn't keep track of it. Looks like the players couldn't either with how long it's sat there for.
And great positioning at this point. You can see the members of Optic kind of spreading out. Looks like Maniac just showed up on that on the radar there.
Ends up winning that battle. Unbelievable out of Maniac. In no way should he have won that battle. He was the only player on his team over there. Ends up getting the kill, staying alive as well, and now helping his teammates. I'm not sure if they finished the kill, though. There's 2 players over here.
That was an incredible swing. One, Contra had him on radar first. Contra had the first shot as well. Lost the battle. Maniac stayed alive the entire time, and the kill lead for Allegiance now just went 3 up for Optic Gaming.
Yeah, and as we say that, though, Maniac wisely backing up, knowing that these players are pushing from the snipe side. Does not finish the kill, does finish the kill eventually, but a little too late. 3 people for Optic go down there. Allegiance 3 for 1 in those trades.
And this game is obviously a much closer than the game 5 that we just saw last series. 28-28 at this point. And that overshield should have just been up as well.
Yeah, I'm flipping around trying to see what I can do to find it. I'm not sure if it got burned, but that's 2 players now down for Optic. They're able to take down Ryan Noob, but Straight6 the third. The hands, it's definitely an advantage here for Allegiance.
And it looks like when all of Optic had died there, they were actually able to pick up the burn as well. SMG, such a powerful weapon, especially on these stairs here. Not much Maniac can do. Maybe being a little bit overly aggressive, as I didn't see anyone else from Optic over there.
Yep, I like this play I'm seeing out of APG, though. He was the last player alive. He knew he needed to play slow, tried to get out driveway, but was caught by Predevinator. Optic just on split spawns and all over the place right now. They got a snipe with spawn. Someone ran away towards Cafe to get them spawns here. We see players over towards the light rifle now in yard. They really need to regroup, get together, and make a strong push.
And just like that, it was 34-30 a moment ago, and Optic picking up several kills, so now back to 2 kills.
I'm very glad Straight6 finished that kill, but I'm not sure how he even got over there. A good job there from Ryan Noob taking down Maniac after he was able to clean up that kill. No control really from either team, and a lot of pushes that I would not expect.
And looks like they are switching map control, essentially, or sides of the map, right as the sniper's getting ready to come up. So this is actually a better situation for Optic.
Sniper intent.
Yep, and as we say that, Optic able to take down Ryan Noob, the only player over there, towards that new sniper. We'll try to see if Optic is able to get control of that.
And it looks like it's probably going to be APG that ultimately ends up going for this. Good teamwork out of Straight6.
I like what I'm seeing out of Optic here, though. They opted to not go for that sniper, knowing that Allegiance not in the position to get it. They were just going to bait that sniper and try to get free kills out of it. They opted to push around together, clean up kills, then pick up sniper. Great teamwork out of them right there.
Now we saw APG being maybe a little overly aggressive with this weapon before, but he's starting to pick up headshots now. That's a double kill. 2 down, and look at the score. It was just tied up. Now 43-36 right at the end of the game, going in favor of Optic Gaming now.
But at the same time, Straight6 was on the overshield and accidentally backed up too far, and he fell off. And now it turns out Allegiance picks up a full overshield. They had the overshield on spawn. It was already up. 2 players were sniped, and they weren't able to get that full overshield off of its spawn.
And that is not good.
That is
for
a
Optic Gaming.
Huge swing in this game. That gives Allegiance sniper, it gives them overshield and map control now as Optic is all spawning up, trying to push towards that loop side.
Now 5-kill lead at this point in the game. Still good, you know, any lead is good, but 5-kill lead, it's comfortable enough where obviously all 4 of you can die and still be winning, but there's still a lot of time left in this game.
Yep, essentially Allegiance, they have to go at the very worst 11-5 here towards the end to win a 50-49 game, so they can only give up 5 deaths. I like what I'm seeing here from Goofy, though, as he pushes around, tries to get a flank, ends up getting spotted and wisely backs up. He should try to relocate now, I would imagine, as they know he is sniping from this spot.
And of course, what Goofy doesn't know is that no one is actually even in yard anymore. Everyone's pushed out, and that's exactly what you need to do as Optic Gaming's play as a unit. It doesn't matter what you do, as long as you're doing it together as a team sometimes, and that's what we're seeing from Optic here.
Yeah, these rotations here from Goofy, we've talked about the rotations with Sniper and how important they are before. It seems a bit too slow. The Optic Gaming roster, they've all pushed out over towards Snipe. Goofy wisely moving towards Loop to get towards his spawning teammates and help them, but they have no map control at all anymore.
The biggest difference is there's 2 kinds of rotations. There's rotations when you're running away with the sniper, but Goofy was actually running towards Optic Gaming, trying to collapse with the sniper, and that's why they weren't able to really capitalize on anything there.
Yep, this next overshield may in fact decide the match, though. Able to connect with that no-scope as Ryan Noob, his grenade, cleans up the kill. That's 3 dead for Optic as Allegiance able to push in together. They need the this next overshield.
So it's only a 2-kill lead, but Goofy only 1 shot left in the sniper, and I'm sure Optic has not been counting the shots. They probably have no idea how much ammo he has left, but if he can put this to good use and pick up another headshot, that would be essentially game-changing here for Allegiance.
Yep. Watching the cafe angles here as these players try to push out for that overshield. We see Ryu up at that top garden spot. Goofy able to get a full overshield, 1 shot, and is not cleaned up. That's going to be 48 to 46. It's important for him to not overextend. However, they can only give up 1 total death as a team.
And look at Optic Gaming's teamwork. Ace running around, staying alive, straight sick, fighting with this
Unbelievable.
SMG.
He gets him to 1 shot, 49 to 48 now.
But Allegiance takes the lead right towards the end of the game. New sniper is up. They cannot afford to give up any deaths.
No,
this is going to be devastating for Optic if they fall in this game.
I would imagine both teams trying to bait this new sniper. Goofy able to make his way over there and pick that up, dropping on what he expects to be a player here. I'm not sure why he dropped. You would imagine players down there would be nading it.
But 2 players and straight sick. Not sure why you would do that in that scenario. They did have 2 teammates, but he just went in way too quickly and got melee.
When you can't give up a single death, the other team is at 49. You can't afford to trade. You just have to team shoot. There's not much else you can do in that scenario. You need it to back up. Goofy, excellent rotations towards the end, especially getting that overshield. That won them the game.
It really did. I mean, straight sick, 1 missed that OS and then gave up the last death in a scenario where you can't be down there in that scenario. You can't be down there.
You can't be down there. That overshield that allowed Allegiance to get map control and weapons, that had spawned up right when APG hit those 2 headshots.
All right, let's take a look at some of the replays here from that game and see how this one played out. And this one was a nail-biter. And obviously we saw just how close this game was the entire time. 23 to 24, within 1 to 2 kills, and I believe Optic took as much of a 5-kill lead, as high as a 5-kill lead.
They were winning 44 to 39, I believe. APG connecting there. They could only give up 5 deaths.
6-kill lead, 7. They had a 7-kill lead
with OS on spawn.
That was some big mistakes by Optic. That was Optic's game to lose, and they did exactly that.
Indeed.
Wow, great play. Not to take anything away from Allegiance, is obviously they played that pretty darn well to be down by 7 kills towards the end of the game and bring it back and close it out.
Yeah, they really just, the teamwork there towards the end, especially we were watching, I believe, Goofy's screen when he had that overshield. They knew that the other team, Optic, they were going to collapse on that overshield. They needed to kill that guy. We saw how long, I believe it was Ace, stayed alive for. And as soon as Ace ended up dying, 2 other Optic players died as Allegiance collapsed around them.
Yeah, there were obviously some big mistakes made that game in order to throw that one away. But regardless, where we currently stand in this series is still far from over. Optic Gaming at Game 1, Fathom CTF, 3-0 victory. Falling short to Allegiance in this Slayer, and we don't see Allegiance win many Slayers, so 50-48, kudos to them on that win. Fantastic play from that whole squad in order to win that.
Doesn't matter how you win, I will take the win if I'm an Allegiance fan right now. We got a 1-1 series heading into Game 3, Plaza Strongholds.
All right, now, Towie, we just saw that Plaza, obviously both teams can play pretty well on this one. With this going into the Strongholds, we know Allegiance is generally stronger on the flags, but Optic, a convincing 3-0 win. Do you see Allegiance now kind of that reversal where one team is now, or they're not as strong on their flag game types, and they're actually spent all their time improving on strongholds and kind of forgot how to play capture the flag?
We've definitely seen that before. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I would imagine on this game type specifically, it's more so about control. And in that Game 1, we saw Optic, they played with that aggressive play style. They were in your face, getting to the base, getting those flags out, and getting their slays appropriately. Game 2, it was a bit more chaotic, less control from Optic, not nearly as aggressive as we saw them in Game 1. And heading into Game 3, I would imagine you have to favor Allegiance.
I mean, if the momentum says anything, it is going to be in their favor. Pretty big mistakes, just to say one more time, that for them to go ahead and drop that.
Not to bring them up constantly, but it certainly was a few costing mistakes in that game.
But we do have the players ready. They went and jumped right into Game 3. So we are looking at Plaza Strongholds. Of course, this is going to change a little bit from what we just watched, as the power up and weapons are in fact different. So of course, this game, who are you feeling to get this one started off with?
I mean, you absolutely have to go with somebody from Allegiance, the way they were able to come back in that last game.
All right, I say we go ahead and start off with Contra here. I guarantee you he had a big say in the determination of last game, and looks like no members from Allegiance even went ahead and pushed for that.
I really like this play from Optic off the start of this game, though. They expected the push coming from Flowers into Yard. They knew that was coming, and then they pre-naded that Flowers area. Contra giving up a pretty free, easy death to start the game, allowing Optic to push out and take that bottom middle stronghold.
And what we saw here, APG actually jumped up to top gold before finishing capturing Yard to make sure he can help out in any way he could. Now, that is camo in the hands of Maniac, so we'll hop on board with him as they start to go for their first triple cap of this game.
Yeah, it's important to not overextend always for that cap. Right now, 2 members of Optic down. Maniac ends up getting taken down. Certainly he was trying to stay alive long enough to capture that nest. Unfortunate that he died to that grenade. I don't dislike the play that he made, though. Great shots out of Ace. Unfortunately taken down. Optic really need to try to slow this down as players are kind of fighting individual battles and on split spawns.
And members of Optic 3 down now at this point. This could actually set up an opportunity for a reverse triple cap, essentially in the hands of Allegiance. But Goofy, pushing in on his own, picks up a fantastic stick. That's about as best you could hope for in that situation, although maybe a little overly aggressive on that charge by himself.
It's important to control loop side on this map, and in that situation, Goofy playing a little too aggressively ends up connecting with that ground pound, getting 2 players weak while Optic still takes that bottom middle stronghold. But if he had played that last situation a little bit slower, kept that shotgun at loop, they'd still have map control right now. They'd have 2 strongholds, possibly getting their kills to recollapse and get the triple cap. You gotta wonder what would happen there if he just played it slower.
And now Optic Gaming looks like they are giving up bottom mid in favor of going for the Yard capture here. So essentially control still in favor of Allegiance. The next thing we're going to be looking up is the new camo spawning top center. Optic making a great push down for bottom mid. You got at least 2 members down there.
Shots, Ace, they're cleaning up a lot of weak kills. That all came from their teamwork there. Team shooting to the max for Team Optic Gaming.
And it's gonna, a big factor is gonna who grabs this next camo, as it should be up. In fact, it is APG being taken down by Contra.
That's gonna be 2 down for Optic here. This is a great opportunity for Allegiance to try to push out.
All right, looks like Maniac, pretty wise decision actually, pushing back to try and contest Yard. He knew there were players top gold and in the base, but unfortunately by himself wasn't really able to do anything there.
Yep.
And now
he got double teamed there. Goofy ended up staying alive as a one-shot in that Yard stronghold for 20 seconds or so. A great play out of him.
Goofy picking up a big shotgun kill there. We'll hop on board with him. He's just gonna sit in Yard now that they have this triple cap and prevent Optic from even coming in this room.
Goofy doing as much damage as possible, ends up getting a kill, getting a player weak, while his teammates are able to hopefully finish those kills around him, as Ryanoop, with that camo and light rifle up at top garden, he knows he can't push in to take this yet, but they do have the advantage in numbers. He's going to push in to try to get some eyes here. Looks like Optic kind of split up, 1 player over towards loop, 1 driveway. No one will probably be able to contest this.
Now, he threw the nade knowing a player was probably going to come from that direction, but no hit markers came up, so he did not turn back to look once again. Ends up getting double teamed and taken out. This is perfect opportunity now, and 3 members in the hill. Look how fast that is being captured.
Yeah, I was absolutely wrong about Ryanoop there. It looks like he was taken down immediately. I don't know if I like the push for him to push all the way in there when his teammates, they were fighting people bottom center. Optic, they had bottom center almost halfway when Ryanoop jumped over into that stronghold.
And looks like Allegiance is deciding to sacrifice Nest in favor of getting the Yard control here. So still control now in favor of Optic. Looks like they might pick up another kill right here.
Yeah, while Optic does have these 2 strongholds, there is still not too much map control. I like what I'm seeing here from Straight-Sick, doing his best to control this loop, but he just does not have his teammates around him. He needs to have multiple teammates there to help control that area of the map.
You really need to be in loop before you go for that light rifle, and so you probably should have moved to another location. We're going to go ahead and take a look at Goofy, who just gets taken out. Take a look back at Ryanoop, who just picked up a kill. Now, they're not able to capture that hill, so Optic Gaming slowly closing this gap.
Yeah, it looked like they were able to take that at least halfway, but Optic doing a fantastic job to contest that bottom middle stronghold and get the reset on it.
Now, Camo in the favor of Contra here. He's got the plasma pistol as well. Picks up the noob combo kill here on APG, and now starts capturing Nest by himself. So Optic Gaming needs to decide, are they going to go for the yard, or are they going to try to contest this Nest hill? I don't know if they know he has camo.
Absolutely do not know that he has camo. Wisely tries to stay alive, ends up staying alive. Great play out of Contra. They had 3 dead there, I believe. They're not going to be able to hold a triple cap, but they just need to reset right now while they have this advantage in map control. Get their kills, and if you're Allegiance, push back in for that triple cap over time.
Just like that Slayer Plaza, this is an extremely back and forth game, but this noob combo could be so impactful, but getting spotted out while charging it by Ace, no help for him, and control back in the hands of Optic.
This is wild. There's almost no control for either team. They ended up getting a kill. We're watching Contra, and it's confusing how Optic's still continuing to take bottom center. They had that over halfway. He had to go into contest. Predevenator ended up taking out Ryanoob, now entirely across the map, spawning up, knows he has to go for this yard as they have entirely lost control of the map.
Now, I do like how kind of decisive these teams are being, where they immediately know whether or not they're all charging back for yard to get control or charging back out to go for a Nest contest. But him dropping there, that's a big kill because Contra also died. So several members down, they can't push out yet.
Yeah, it looks like players are still spawning up all over the place. Not too much control really from either team. We're going to jump on with Maniac here over at Nest, trying to just anchor for his team while he can. He sees Aaron over there. That's Ace at Loop. Hopefully, it turns out Ace able to get a kill as 2 players are going to push towards the truck side. A double kill there for Maniac as 3 players are going to go down.
And he actually might get one more here on Ryanoob. In fact, picks up with a great nade, getting shot in the back, drops down, almost stays alive. Unfortunately, he's taken out as well. Several members now for Optic dropping. This is control going back in favor of Allegiance now.
Yep, and as we say that, we see Contra trying to take that Nest stronghold. APG over in that same area. Multiple players all fighting for control of different strongholds. There's just no control right now.
And like I said it once already, this game is continuing to go just like the last Slayer game, which is so ironic. Something you don't really see. It's just so back and forth.
I feel like I'm in a tornado of map control right now.
I completely agree with you. And wow, APG winning a huge battle there.
Oh my, you cannot say enough about that.
Right, looks like Ryanoob trying to contest, but that's 2 members dropping. That yard's going to go in hands of Optic Gaming as well.
At the same time, though, we see Devin spawning up behind them, ends up getting taken out, pushing into a situation 2-on-1 for Optic there at Nest. They have the advantage in numbers. Aaron taken down. It looks like players not really sure where and when they have help. It looks like they're fighting a lot of individual battles and not staying alive as well as they could be.
I feel like there are 10 players on this map instead of 8. This is so back and forth. Several members dropping. Now, the Allegiance still has plenty of time to close this out, but look, 3 members for them down. They're looking at having just one more opportunity potentially to push out if they don't actually get Nest control right now.
Yep, 3 dead. I love what I'm seeing here from Straight Sick. You can't say enough about Goofy, though. Goofy, last player alive, gets a kill and ends up buying his teammates who are spawning some time. Straight Sick, he was playing that slow, expecting them to go for that yard stronghold. Allegiance a little bit too late there.
That triple cap was just too powerful. They got the reset in
Way
Nest,
too powerful.
and there was nothing that they could do. And wow, what a back and forth game.
How are you supposed to predict spawns? Everyone's playing 1,000 miles an hour.
It is pretty
That was the
incredible.
fastest Plaza Strongholds I maybe have ever seen.
You know what? I don't know if I can argue with you on that one. But let's go ahead and take on some of the replays here, and we'll talk about some of the stats that we just saw from this game. Across the board on both teams, like, you know, based on how the gameplay went, everyone was playing extremely well, in my opinion. The kills are all fairly similar. The captures, everybody's got a bunch of them, between 5 and 8 captures, lots of secures as well. And then the kill count, between 11 and 16 kills. This is one of the most balanced stat sheet pages that I've seen in quite some time.
Incredibly balanced. You know, Halo is so often about who or which team will make the least mistakes. And while it may look confusing while we're trying to watch that game, we also don't have the communication, so it's hard to say. And it certainly looked like each team was very decisive in what they wanted to be doing. You know, both teams, it looked like they're playing extremely well.
And after how this series just played out, this could have been a 3-0 for Optic Gaming if they did not, and for lack of a better word, choke in game 2 and throw that one away. So this is Allegiance's opportunity. They need to capitalize here after picking up that win and by taking this to a Game 5. And like we said before, they are really, really good at capture the flag game types. And even in that Optic Gaming versus Liquid series that we saw before, it was Liquid with the old roster that actually took away Capture the Flag Coliseum. I think from Optic as well.
Yes, it is.
And then of course they beat Evil Geniuses. So, you know, lot on the line here in this game. It's either Allegiance is going home empty-handed tonight, or Optic Gaming may be able to pick up their second win of the HCS Pro League.
You know, we've seen what players like Maniac and Straight Sick can do when they get a sniper on this next map.
That's right.
Maniac, Laniac, as everyone, of course, knows from that PAX tournament, connecting on so many different headshots. Straight Sick against CLG, I believe, connecting on more or less a million shots as well.
And let's just stress, that was Straight Sick against CLG that he was hitting all those shots on. So if he can do that against
Big
CLG,
difference.
you can do that against anyone. So it'll be a lot of it'll be up to Straight Sick and see what he can come out and do.
What's important to pay attention to heading into this game is how Allegiance plays the objective. Now, Ryanoob, known for a lot of his objective plays, it really reminds me of that play we saw earlier from Stellar when he was able to push around on the car side on that true CTF game. He was able to overextend, get that flagpole, run it back while the other team was focused on the other side of the map. You see that very often on Coliseum, Capture the Flag. You know, teams fighting for snipe control, they may or may not have numbers, but one player at the other base will overextend across the map, get that flagpole out more or less for free because the opposing team, they're fighting for map control instead of watching their base. And they get a free cap out of it, and Allegiance very, very good at the objective.
And not only that, I mean, this is another map where we see a lot of flag standoffs, where Halo 5, more than any other previous Halo, you will see teams, everyone basically put your head down, although you don't really put your head down too much in Halo 5, and just run across the map as fast as possible to get a pull, try to bring it back to your base. So even if you have control, it can be that one guy that gets that pull and extends the game.
Yep, and that's one thing to look forward to for this game type especially, is the speed at which they're playing. You know, if you're trying to overextend through the rocket side and run it out rocket side, usually that means that team does not have very much map control. If they're running it through the snipe side, that team usually has that control. So when it comes to those flag standoffs, if you have an unorthodox flag route going out towards the rocket side, that usually means significantly less control for that team.
And let's not forget, as far as these two teams competing and how much is on the line for them, is, you know, of course, Liquid hasn't won a series yet, so it's hard to put them anywhere else but the 8th spot currently. But this is 7-6 going at it head-to-head right now, so there's going to be some potential standing changes depending on how this series plays out.
Yep. Very, very closely matched teams. Clearly, by the way, these three games have played out. Except for game one, which was a small blowout.
Yeah, nobody saw that coming, or I didn't see that coming to start this, especially out of the performance we saw from them yesterday. We do have the players ready. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map. Of course, Coliseum, Capture the Flag. First 3 captures to win. You know, we said it time again. There have been some changes from World Championships and things we've seen. Now, what I want to do this game is start off with Straight Sick, because Straight Sick 1 had a weak game 2. You know, if anything, several crucial mistakes to basically allow Allegiance to bring that one back. But then again, he was the one that was going off against CLG.
Yep, Straight Sick off the start of this game here, taking a route, and a great job by getting the kill there. That's going to be 3 down for Allegiance off the start of the game. Straight Sick, great route to stay alive there on Pyramid, get the kill. Ended up getting cleaned up, but Optic with map control so far.
That was a great nade by him. You know, I thought he was at the disadvantage in that fight, but ended up pulling out the W. Back and forth still, and looks like Sniper still up. Who is grabbing this one? Where it looks like it is Allegiance that's going to pick that one up. But Rockets, down bottom center. Great kill by APG.
Yeah, that sniper player who was on Allegiance maybe overextended just a little bit. Optic now with control, and Maniac with that sniper over at snipe spawn.
Now, I don't know if he thought he had a frag and tried to bounce it, or he was just preventing him from jumping up, but naded by Maniac.
Did he get a bounce shot on that? I couldn't tell if he connected.
I don't think it was. I think it was just a body shot. Either way, that guy was no shields. You could have pulled out your pistol and shot him.
Which is the much better play.
He gets taken out.
Yeah, 2 players now down. We see Predevinator pushing in, trying to get this flag pull out. Well, they have that advantage in numbers. It's so important to get that flag out before the spawners can contest the pull. Great team shooting out of Allegiance as they do get that kill. The flag's still not out, though. They weren't able to get the run.
Last guy alive, picks up a double kill on the flag, prevents Allegiance from getting the flag pull. Crucial play by him. Last guy alive, 2-for-1 trade. That should not happen.
Yeah, he maybe is playing a bit too fast here, though. He is one shot trying to stay alive with that sniper. He needs help from his teammates. Ends up, I'm not sure if he fell off the map or threw it off, but either way, a win for Optic in that situation.
I don't know how he got hit by that nade. Looks like some hit markers popped up. I don't know where that one came from, but either way, good job by Allegiance by getting that sniper off the map as well.
Yep, and now we see both teams. No one has an advantage in those power weapons as rockets are about to spawn, but they are both fighting for that snipe control that you need on this game type.
Several members of Optic falling. Now, Rhino didn't see APG there hiding on the flag, and APG takes him out. Now, I don't know what he was thinking. Like, the last guy's obviously going to be there, but Rockets also falling now by Allegiance, and just like that, back in favor of Optic, and looks like Straightsick actually getting a flag pull as well.
Yeah, amazing play here from Straightsick. He did exactly what I was talking about, overextending on this side of the map, kind of getting caught by a player on that Rocket Street. Hopefully, yes, he does get help from a teammate. Ace possibly able to run this flag. Allegiance not able to get that return yet.
And two more members on him here. He's got to move around perfectly if he has any hope of staying alive. He's just jumping around like a monkey, doing everything he can. And somehow he's still alive.
Somehow.
Dodging the nades. Goofy, no!
Oh.
And just like that, Goofy barely saves himself from embarrassment. But either way, great job by Ace staying alive there.
Yeah, you can't say enough about that. It just buys your team so much time when you're able to stay alive in a situation like that.
That was almost the second back-to-back 2v1 situation where Ace came out on top. So great plays by him. But Predevinator answers
with
back.
The no scope. I was about to say that new sniper had just spawned. Ends up challenging and winning that challenge against Ace, connecting with another no-scope here. You have to think that Allegiance, still without that flagpole, they're trying to collapse on this flag, but unable to.
And there's still a lot of ammo in this weapon. Straightsick obviously not the only one that could do ridiculous things with the sniper. He is going to go pick up that one and then answers right back. Picks up one headshot, body shot melee, so 2-for-1 trade. And looks like that sniper is still on the map as well.
That's going to be 3 down now as one player has just spawned up for Allegiance. We see Ace, the only player on his team over here. He was blocking these rocket corner spawns, making sure that his team knows where they're spawning up at. I like this play out of Ace, controlling this part of the map. His team does not have snipe control, though. It's confusing. Maybe Allegiance they don't know that he's still there. Ace hasn't left the spot of the map. They're pushing out, leaving him behind.
And he's got a carbine, though. You can't, from window to window, it's so powerful. Ace still in the base. Looks like 2 of his teammates dead and flag being pulled from.
Yep,
he really needs to play this well.
Really dangerous situation here. He knew that player would spawn up behind him as well. That's only 2 players from Allegiance that are running this flag back, as 2 have just spawned up. But these rockets still sitting up on spawn.
All right, flag is moving right now, being escorted by Contra. He's going to put in the first flag capture, but it looks like Rockets also going in the hands of Optic Gaming in this situation.
You can't say enough about that run. They definitely pushed out through snipe side extremely well, made sure they cleaned up that kill on the guy in their base. Those rockets at snipe spawn right now ended up being taken down. I'm not sure any team has control of them as they sit there.
And APG pushing in. Looks like nades bouncing all over the place. Let's go ahead and hop on board with Goofy as he has those rockets in his pocket.
Kind of playing things slow here as he is scoping out where they could be pushing from. Not able to connect on anybody with those rockets, but 2 players will fall for Optic. Everyone on Optic obviously playing pretty slow, expecting there to be rockets. There's not much you can do there, and Allegiance really taking advantage of that and playing a bit faster.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised he didn't pull the trigger on that first rocket. If you're going to pull the trigger on the second one like that, when it was, obviously going to be a miss, you want to pull the trigger on that first one, especially if you got scatter shot looking at you.
Yep.
But either way, he doesn't die. He ends up using up the rest of the rockets, so no harm done as far as, that weapon going over the hands of Optic.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this flag pull, though. Allegiance, they could have it seemingly worked together better to make sure this flag got out. Now all of Optic, I believe, alive, at least 3 players alive. Goofy, able to get that flag throw out. This makes it so difficult for the other team. This flag needs to be returned. It will stay there for a long time. 2 players fall now for Optic. This is most likely going to end up being a relayed cap for Allegiance.
It definitely looks like that's running in, and you can see it way in the back there. Ryan ends up putting that one in, and that's a 2 flag kill or 2 flag capture lead now.
Yep, and that was all done by, I believe, Devin. I'm not sure who it was who got that flag throw out. Goofy, he relayed that, but because Optic didn't get that return when it was sitting in their window, it seems like a small distance, only 5 or 10 feet from their window out towards the front of their window. But because they didn't get that return, Goofy one shot grabs it, throws it out, they get a relayed flight cap.
And that is also Sniper and Rockets in the hands of, Allegiance and Predominator.
Unbelievable, connecting with a no-scope to the body before, and then the headshot there. Going for absolutely everything. This man knows what he wants, and he's going for it.
He is on fire with this weapon this game. Haven't seen a lot of sniping out of him, but he is hitting ridiculous no-scopes.
Yeah, playing maybe a little too aggressive right now. Optic off spawn, able to get him to one shot. He's at a pretty poor position, as that's going to be 3 players down for Optic, but Devin is also taken out. Maniac, the last player alive here, knows he needs to try to challenge to get a kill. Does, in fact, get the kill. That's a big play for Optic here. 2 players for Allegiance trying to push into the cave. They are the only 2 players on the team over there.
Wow, and Maniac, good shots, backs out, tricks Predominator to pop out in window, peeks back out, and ends up picking up the kill, so that's 1 dead. If they're able to kill his catwalk, they may have a flag opportunity run.
Yep, a great overextension there. I'm not sure which player on Optic got that flag pull out, but that was still pretty good awareness from them to be able to get that flag.
All right, looks like they're not going to be able to capitalize on that, though, and great nade by Predominator. It actually backed off the catwalk there and fell down 2 maze, getting Maniac weak, so good job by Predominator. He's the one that's really impressing me this game. Let's go ahead and hop on board with him.
Yeah, it looks like Optic here kind of split on what they want to be focusing on during this map. We just saw Ace died top rockets. They don't really have any snipe control. These new rockets will be spawning here any second. Optic playing defensively once again. We've seen them fight from their base for a majority of this game.
Right, and Rockets are up. Scattershot now enhanced Predominator. APG not seeing him there, and Contra now with the Rockets as well. So flag being pulled. We'll take a look at what Contra's going to do with these Rockets. If he's able to kill just probably 1 person here, this might be the end of the game.
Yeah, but it's important to point out there's only 2 dead when they got this flag out. They did get it out fast, but 2 players from Optic possibly able to stop it.
And just like that, stayed in the little 3rd person here. You can see no one in Optic in position, although the Rockets were down and they were making good pushes, but just a little bit too little too late. And that was like an exact reversal of game 1 that I feel like we saw.
Yeah, you know, you can't say enough about Allegiance there at the end. They got those rockets, they pushed into Rocket Corner, and they got that flag out. They got 2 kills right away, and there were 2 other players on Optic that were out. They ran at Rocket side because they knew they were blocking those spawns, and they got the flag cap immediately.
And let's take a look at some of the highlights here from that game. And of course, we are looking at going into another game 5.
Maniac connecting on that no-scope.
Maybe that was?
It looked like a bounce shot to me. I'm not sure. Another game 5, though. I'm so excited.
You know, I was predicting a lot of great matches today and a lot of game 5s. Then all of a sudden CLG does what CLG does all the time and just completely puts on a powerhouse domination on Renegades. But then Series 2 and 3, ones I was looking forward, one I wasn't necessarily looking as forward to, turn out to be 2 fantastic series.
Unbelievable no-scope there from Devin. You know, you really can't say enough about Allegiance taking advantage of Optic being out of position this game.
And that one on APG.
It's just unbelievable.
And let's just not forget that that was the same dude that just hit those shots. That is ridiculous play by Predominator.
Ridiculous.
All right, we'll take a look at the series layout. And once again, just like every single game we've been watching, well, games 2 and 3 anyway, this has been a ridiculously back and forth series. Optic Gaming taking game 1 3-0. Allegiance 50-48 victory on that Plaza Slayer. Optic Gaming then turning it around 100-76, and then of course Allegiance putting on an impressive performance. Predominator and crew picking up a 3-0 victory on that flag game.
Yep, now heading into game 5, Coliseum Team Slayer. This will play pretty differently than Capture the Flag, as players will obviously spawn all around the map. We saw CLG play that Coliseum Team Slayer.
And, against the Renegades, was it?
Yeah, I believe that was the Renegade series.
It was,
They played that to a T. Textbook, map control, Royal 2 sniping from the Rocket Corner as his teammates, they held that snipe control. It's important on this game type especially to force those spawns and trap teams at a base. When you get players weak, you want to fully collapse to make sure that you're clearing out that base and then refocusing across the map on the new spawns.
And of course, play to your advantages. You know, Royal 2, just a fantastic job. I feel like I'll never stop talking about this kid. The rotations that he does from elbow to the cave area and the Royal 2 spot, essentially, is so incredibly impressive.
I mean, I could talk all day about how good CLG is, especially Royal 2.
We definitely could. Now, this game, of course, the Renegade series, and don't quote me on it, but I believe it was like 50-33 in favor of CLG.
That sounds right, but I think it was pretty close, around like the 20 kill mark. They didn't start off like with a huge lead off the beginning of the game.
Gotcha. So we talked about the X factor in some of these previous games. What are we looking to see from these players in this Game 5?
Well, most importantly, the discipline to not give up those easy deaths. You know, we've seen that a few times this series, especially with the speed at which both teams are playing. Very, very fast, limited control, possibly. You know, we've seen a few unorthodox flag routes in that last game, especially, that usually those come from a lack of control. But, you know, when you're forcing spawns into different areas of the map, you can take advantage of that and get a flag cap off of that. So heading into this game, you know, you want to see things slow down. They're playing so fast, and obviously it's working in different situations for both teams, but I feel like whichever team is going to be able to hold control for longer is going to win Game 5.
And holding control, elaborate that on just a little bit more. You know, are we talking about map control or are we talking about weapon control?
Well, I think weapon control is a product of map control. You want to have map control in order to win the game. Now, when I say map control on this game type for Coliseum Team Slayer, I'm speaking about controlling the snipe spawn and the areas around snipe spawn. So
maze, the DMR.
Yeah, when you're at snipe spawn and you're focusing on pushing in towards a base, you're getting angles on the players that are on that flag. You are, from the top catwalk position, watching the flanks on where they're pushing out from, getting shots into those players from multiple angles, and you have a teammate blocking the spawns behind you, especially. Usually we see a sniper in that area, Royal 2, from the rocket corner, either shooting with the DMR from window or rocket corner or rocket street or up towards top rockets, but just applying pressure on the other team while they're stuck in that base. If you can control snipe side and then rotate down snipe ramp and go from like red base to blue base and back and across, you're going to control the pace of the game.
Right, and let's not forget that the lines of sight on this map are pretty much unlike any other map. You can be in that rocket corner and still support your teammates on the snipe street, collapsing down on the fountain area of Coliseum. So, Towie, the last Game 5 we saw didn't turn out exactly the way we were hoping it. Give me a prediction, and you know I'm actually anticipating a pretty close game because the Slayer and that Strongholds game were some of the closest games we've seen today.
Wildly close. Both flag games, complete blowouts in opposite directions.
Right.
It's very strange. But
comes down to the map, perhaps.
If we can get a Game 5 Team Slayer like we saw a Game 2 Team Slayer, I'm going to be pretty excited.
And I will be as well because
I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be as excited. That was wild.
Can definitely be pretty exciting. And of course, after the way this series has played out, one of these teams is going to be really, really disappointed after the end of the night.
You got to imagine that both teams know they can take advantage of things and kind of threw a few games in the series.
All right, so we do have the players ready. We are taking a look at Slayer on Coliseum. First to 50 kills, Game 5. And of course, we know how much is on the line as these are the teams competing to get out of relegation. You do not want to find yourself in that position at the end of the season. Let's go ahead and kick it off with Straight Sick. Saw a good start from him before, and he looks like he's doing the exact same thing on this one.
Yep, he's throwing these pre-nades here, expecting a player, anticipating them to move over towards that same position on Snipe's side. Ends up getting taken out. I don't think he got hit markers, and that player kind of caught him off guard there.
And looks like many players dying, and we find Goofy with the sniper rifle here, so we haven't seen a lot of things out of him.
Yeah, Goofy maybe not known for his sniping in Halo 5, but this man can connect with a few shots if you know anything about Halo 3.
And I do know a little bit about Halo 3, Towie. I remember this little bull-like player, matador player we got going on.
Very bold out of Goofy here. Wisely slowing things down with his teammate here, though. They know that they can't afford to push in. They're not sure where the other team is all around the map. They don't really have complete control, and he doesn't want to afford to die with that sniper.
And look, two members at sniper. Ace with scatter shot below. Not really any opportunities to get out, but his team collapsing now. They need to make sure they take Goofy out here. Don't give him an opportunity to get into one of these corners or caves and start sniping them.
Yeah, you can't say enough again, though, about how smart that was from Goofy. He didn't want to overextend, especially with that sniper. He's slowing things down, taking good angles, and playing to his team's strengths. When he has teammates around him, he knows where to go.
And this is a good job by Optic. Picked up a couple kills and then hid and stayed alive. Didn't let Allegiance use their numbers advantage or any of these weapons to pick up any more kills. Maniac trying to push up, ends up falling. He does almost grab a kill. Looks like Goofy goes for a ground pound. I don't know if I would have gone for a ground pound in that situation.
Play.
You've got Sniper. You do not want to get up close battles with the enemy team when they have that. That's going to put Sniper in the hands of Ace, and now this game is all tied up. I would have loved to see him just run to a base and get away.
Yeah, when you have Sniper on this game type, you need to get back to a base, and that is exactly what we see Ace doing right now. When you're at Snipe, you don't necessarily have the best angles, and it's tough to say because we don't have the communication, but if you're on Allegiance, they really needed to have a control of a base. We saw them at Snipe without control.
And he had an Ace, big kill, taking out Rocket Guy. Goofy had Sniper, a full ammo. He wasn't even using it and goes for a ground pound. If I had to choose a mistake so far that I've seen in this game, that's going to be it.
Yeah, Ace here playing things a bit slow, knowing that his team does not have control of the base that he's at, wisely decides to try to run away and relocate towards his spawning teammates, as you should with Sniper on this map. We see Straight down low. I think he has those rockets playing things slow as well. Optic going to try to work together here to regain snipe control and apply some pressure towards the other team's spawns.
You know, we've said it a million times, but if you're ever wondering what we meant by rotating around the map, this is what we meant. He was at blue corner, ran all the way around to red elbow, and picked up a couple of snipe kills.
And that's going to be 3 dead. Last player alive getting melted as they push over towards Rockets. Ace, knowing that they're spawning up at blue, most likely in that rocket corner, trying to position himself so that he can get some easy snipe shots on these players spawning up at blue.
And that guy running down rocket corner, like, you can tell Allegiance almost looks flustered. Like, what was that guy doing? You were not going to win that situation. They have Sniper, Rockets, 2 teammates dead. You cannot be jumping out and not doing anything.
Ace connecting with the shot on the player that was trying to push him from his own base there. Decides to push through towards blue. I'm not sure why he's going so fast. Maybe he doesn't know where his teammates are spawning up. It's confusing. The Optic doing just a great job of controlling the map so far. I would expect to see Ace back up a little bit here.
Gives him a little bit of a haircut there. That slide movement actually lowered him out of the aim or reticle there. So great job by Allegiance. Part of the reason why you want to run so fast is you can avoid things like that. You throw in a thrust and throw someone off, miss shots. Good plays by Allegiance, but we still got a 6-kill lead for Optic here.
Yeah, a great flank from whoever that was on Allegiance there to come through the grass. I think they got 1 or 2 kills, but at the same expense, all 4 players on Allegiance ended up falling during that push.
And this entire lead came from Goofy dying with the sniper. So
yes,
this one of the reasons why, like, we've seen teams run away with the sniper the entire game not dying. Mikowit, great example of it. Phenomenal play from him. And Ace saw some good ones there. He didn't have much ammo, so he charged. But look, just full control now here for Optic.
Yeah, these rockets have been sitting on spawn for a little while. Ace able to get them and drop off the map over towards, I think he's trying to push back towards snipe side where you get the best angles with those rockets. Straight Sick with the snipe watching him, making sure they can get control of those.
And Ace picking up several kills. That's 3 members now down. Ace 12-4 so far this game. And now setting up his team for success. Now 8-kill lead. Maybe this is going to turn into the last game we saw.
Yeah, you can't say enough about how fast this game is being played, though. They're just very undisciplined deaths is what I'm seeing. You know, in a close game 5, you can't afford to give up deaths similar to like the one I just saw now. You just have to try to slow things down, and both teams playing at an extremely fast pace right now.
And look, still picking up kills. Straight Sick doing exactly what we talked about, rotating away with the sniper. They never know where he is, always giving him angles to pick up headshots, just like that Predevator gets dropped.
I like what I'm seeing here. He knew that they had just spawned up at red. He was going to come over here to block these spawns, and he is flanking with his teammates. You know the communication is about, I'm behind them, stay alive, don't give up any deaths. We're going to clear them out of this base. His teammates able to save him there as he didn't know there was a player there, but that's 2 dead for Allegiance as Optic still has the advantage.
And they are just growing this lead. And you know, you got to think about the callouts. Predevator gets sniped from blue corner. Guys, sniper blue corner. And then all of a sudden he's like, no, sniper's on red flag. You just never know where they're going to be.
Yep, and he is only able to do these rotations because they've had snipe control. And that is the importance of having snipe control. As you see APG and other Optic players rotating back and forth while Straight Sick is making these rotations with sniper.
And even though Allegiance had the sniper first, Optic Gaming has controlled it ever since that point in time. So new sniper going up, and another Blaine by Straight Sick, Predevator. He's getting what he put on Optic Gaming last game, and Straight
connects
Sick
with both no scopes. I was about to say I'd like to see him play selfishly here. Ends up connecting with another shot.
Looks like it goes through his legs on that one, but Goofy, can he stay alive up here? Straight Sick, great job just dropping down, staying alive, just waiting for help. And he hits it
up, connecting
again
with a no-scope on the rocket guy. Unbelievable. I mean, you can't say enough about staying alive there, but to connect with a no-scope at that angle is insane.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they thought Straightsick had the new sniper, but no, Straightsick has no ammo left. Maniac's got the new sniper. Great play by Optic Gaming, 48-33. They're about to pick up their second win of the HCS
It's
Pro
only
League.
a matter of time right now. They need one kill as Optic looks to fully collapse on these last few guys. Apparently, they ended up dying in that push because, well, they can push because they can't lose. They just need one kill.
Exactly.
Maniac backing up here, hoping to pick off one last guy for that last kill.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to be scared now. They know they can't even peek out. They've got snipers looking for them. They got cross map happening. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Maniac go take another angle here, see if he can't be the one to pick up this last kill.
The only surprising part to me right now is that this is finally when the game has slowed down. I would have imagined that this would have happened much sooner, but Optic looks like Straightsick able to pick up that last kill. And here we take a look at the stats.
Taking a look at the stats, Ace, no surprise, led the charge in the beginning with that sniper rifle, picking up several different scoped-in headshots, followed by Straightsick, 14 and 8, picking up all of those no scopes. Phenomenal play, and let's give a shout out to Maniac and APG here as well. Maniac only 6 deaths, and of course APG looking at 13 assists this game. Take a look at some of the highlights from this game, and I'm sure there's going to be a few good ones because I know I was yelling, and great play everywhere, probably except for this play, and I feel really bad about it as well.
I feel a little bad bringing it up so much. You can't tell. One of the biggest problems on this game type when you have that snipe control is when you don't have a base, it's tough to make that decision on where to go.
The worst part about it is he didn't even get the ground pound. The guy died before he got down there, and all he did was jump into a bunch of grenades.
Yeah, you know, we really weren't even able to switch the point of view up very much this game as those players on Optic with that sniper, once they got it, they stayed alive for quite a long time.
You are absolutely correct there. And even with the new snipers coming up, they've still got the old sniper to pick up these kills. Straightsick put up a highlight reel. We saw him do it against CLG. He's doing it against the Legions.
Just an unbelievable angle. You would never want to even pistol, really, a guy up above you from that angle, let alone has rockets, let alone you snipe him.
Wow. That was a great series. Although the game, ending game 5 was, you know, still big margin, it was still really exciting to watch. So let's just recap what we saw here in match 3 of week 3, day 2. We had Optic Gaming take game 1, 3-0. Fall game 2, 50-48. Optic Gaming winning game 3, 176. Allegiance picking up the Coliseum flag, 3-0. And then, of course, Optic Gaming with that dominating performance we just saw. And I'm really glad that it was actually Straightsick going off because, in my opinion, and we called him out on it, he had a little bit of a mistake, a few mistakes there in game 2, but not in game 5. Everything was working out for him.
Yeah, I feel a little bad calling him out like that. You know, they had that lead, probably could have closed out game 2, making it a 3-0. But to come back there in game 5, making those excellent rotations, you got to know the communication had to have been on point about who was where, who was watching what, and when they were going to collapse on those spawning players.
All right, and then on top of that, it's Friday night. It's way better to go out on a win on Friday night than it is on Thursday night as well.
Way better. Worlds of difference.
All right. Well, exciting match. We saw first Team Liquid falling into Game 5, pretty decisive Game 5 loss. Then Optic Gaming coming out here and taking Allegiance, who at this point in time in the season is their biggest competitor, I would say. Now, I believe we do have an interview coming up here with Optic Gaming. And when I say Optic Gaming, I literally mean all of Optic Halo.
We do mean all of Optic Halo.
All right. So we should be just a moment out from there. Do we have this? Can you hear me now?
Hello? Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, there we go. You're a little quiet on my background. But let's go ahead. Well, first of all, congratulations.
Oh, there we go. We're all in.
Can you see us?
We can see you guys. What's going on?
What's up, Tower?
Yo, nice job. Game 5, you guys closed it out pretty strong.
Yeah, thank God. Game 2 hard.
Yeah. So
what were you guys thinking there?
About our game 2.
we were talking about the game 2 quite a bit. Actually, I'd love to get Straightsick's point of view because we're actually watching some of that there.
That was my question.
What was going through your guys' head after you fell that game 2?
We just wanted to basically keep composure because we knew that we kind of choked the lead, I guess you could say, but we didn't want to let that get to our heads, and we just wanted to make sure that we went in level-headed for the next game. Plaza is usually one of our weaker game types, so we just wanted to make sure that we made sure we won the next Stronghold on Plaza, and that's really it.
All right. And then, Towie and I were talking about it a little here. The capture the flag games. We had Fathom. You guys come out and just dominate, and then come out and then get dominated on the Coliseum capture the flag. How is it when these matchups? You think it's just the maps that determine who comes out and wins some of these games, or what is it? There was also obviously Predevinator hitting some ridiculous no-scopes that Coliseum game.
Yeah. Coliseum, they definitely just controlled weapons better than us. As far as game one on Fathom, we came out on fire. We were controlling weapons. It was kind of just a momentum thing. Like once we got them on a spawn trap on Fathom, it just kind of kept working in our favor. And then on Coliseum, once they got us in a spawn trap, it just kept going in their favor. So it's really just based on weapons and momentum.
Even though I thought we were winning the first half of that Coliseum.
Yeah, and vetoes, because, we don't do those.
Did you guys participate in the vetoes here today? I want to get your feedback because you guys have getting a lot of flack. I've been giving you guys some flack here.
A little bit.
A little bit, absolutely. What is it, that's going on going forward here? Is this going to be the turnaround for Optic where we see you guys be a contender to make it to finals?
That is. This was definitely the turnaround point for us. We told ourselves today is when we will start winning series. Obviously, we're trying as hard as we can on all the others, but we're just sick of losing. As far as vetoes go, we didn't intentionally miss the veto. People think we're just like in California chilling, so we're just on the beach instead of vetoing maps. But we actually talked about the vetoes earlier in the day, and then kind of just, not gonna lie, forgot about it, or maybe it was like the time zone or something. But we got
on our way to this land center, so we forgot about it because we had a bunch of stuff to do here to get ready.
Yeah, they were trying to figure out if they were going to come to this land center to play the Pro League match, or if they were going to go home, and then they were deciding on
the fact that we're not used to this
here.
time zone. We didn't realize what time it was Eastern. So
all right, I'll take that one. I'll let you guys get away with that.
We'll let that one slide.
We were on the way to the land center when the vetoes happened.
How about this? Just don't miss any more in the future.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good deal. Now, going into the Game 5, you guys had just fantastic rotations of the sniper. Ace, you had in the beginning of the game. We actually saw Goofy ground pound someone to give up that sniper. And then Straight Stick, of course, you're just so good on this map. What is it about Coliseum that makes you in particular excel so much?
I honestly, I don't know. I used to think it was one of my worst game types as a player, and then I just started working on trying to hold Pyramid a lot more. I feel like Pyramid's a strong point in that map, and just being really sneaky. And whenever I have Sniper, I make sure that I'm not getting flanked. I played pretty crazy at the end with Sniper, to be honest. I was no-scoping people, but I was just feeling the fire, you know what I'm saying? So I just was feeling the adrenaline, just trying to make it happen.
All right. Now tell us, what can we expect from Optic Gaming going forward into next week?
Practicing every day, and really just, that's really all we can do is practice as hard as we can. People think we're a little behind, but I actually just found out today we are one of the most practiced teams. But as far as being a team together, just us four, we're definitely new, and I think we needed a little bit of time.
We definitely started way behind with the whole LCQ and the nated situation. We didn't even get a lot of practice right when everyone started playing the new settings, so we were a little bit behind, and we couldn't catch up so quickly. But I think we're hitting our groove, and we know what's going on now, and I think we know how to play good Halo again. And honestly, I'm glad we came to this LAN center because being around each other, all right next to each other, talking about strategies, game types, how to play good Halo again, it kind of just reminded us what we needed to work on, what actually we need to fix, and I think we'll be good from now on.
All right. Well.
And I didn't have a 0.5 KD.
That always helps.
Yeah, Nick, want to give props to you as you played really well this series. We were on board with you for quite some time. Brad, I know you weren't playing as well yesterday as you wanted to, but really impressed with you as well. Great job here today, boys.
Yeah, making the green wall proud.
Green wall.
All right. Well, appreciate you guys taking the time to chat with us. You heard it from Optic Gaming. They say they're back, so we'll have to wait and see what's got in store for next week. But, hey, they put on a great show.
Yeah, they absolutely did. That was one of the most back-and-forth series that I can really remember watching. We have one blowout, in the first game. We have a crazy back and forth score difference with a wild finish to end game 2. We have a pretty much back and forth game 3 with a wild blowout in game 4. Just all over the place. So there's still a lot to work on for them for sure, but you got to know that they're happy to come out with a win.
And of course, a quick shout out to Esports Arena for allowing Optic to go over there and play as well.
Yeah, you can't say enough about how advantageous it is to all play next to each other. When you are sitting next to your teammates, like recreating that tournament environment, seeing each other's screens, just a huge advantage.
All right. Now, obviously, exciting match there. Now, we also have a little bit more content here for you guys, some great things from the community. Once again, we have the video of the week, and that's going to be also from the Team Beyond Rewind, and that is CLG versus EG. Of course, you can see that at esl.gg/rewind CLG EG.
If anyone's interested in that series or the outcome, I don't know.
And it was, pretty exciting. Still,
Yeah.
2 close games.
2 close games.
So let's go ahead and take a look at that video.
We're jumping into Coliseum CTF, and right off the bat, Frosty does an interesting jump to clamber up to the DMR platform. Royal 2 and Lethal also push towards the green base, but from a different angle. From here, all 3 players strategically use their grenades to apply pressure on virtually every route into the green base. This is a common strategy, but the key factor to CLG's success is they continue to play aggressive and stay on the same page.
And great video there. If, of course, you want to watch the whole thing, go ahead and check out that URL. And great work from the Team Beyond guys in highlighting some of that and giving great analysis.
Yeah, you can't say enough for the analysis, being able to rewind these matches, try and understand what each team is really doing that's giving them such a significant difference in the outcome of their games, especially CLG.
All right, now we have one of the biggest matches of the night coming up after this. That's Team Envious versus Evil Geniuses. So one that you have to stay in tune for. We'll go to a quick commercial break while we get the players set up, and we'll be right back after this.